The Firestick 4K Select is finally here and releases officially on October 15th. But you want to know, is it worth upgrading if you have a Firestick Max 2, a Firestick 4K regular version, or a Firestick Lite? And today I'm going to tell you all the major differences. If you enjoy the channel, I go by UG Tech and I try to help people like you. Yep, you right there watching this video. Save money on streaming services and yes, learn about the newest devices. If you want to support the channel, the best way to do that is hit the subscribe button right down below. So if you missed yesterday's video, I went over some of the main specs of the Firestick TV 4K Select. Okay, this is their newest version. This is going to be running their brand new operating system, Vega, which is Linux-based and will not be able to run any Android APKs, which is, a lot of people don't like that. Now, we don't even know what it looks like yet. We don't know what it's going to work like. We don't even know which apps it's going to have available, but we do know, I don't think we're going to like it. Anyways, let's talk about some of the main specs first. The device is going to go for $40, $39.99 regular price. It's going to run the MediaTek MT86898 CPU model. It's 4-core, 1.7 gigahertz. 1 gigabyte of RAM, which is confusing a lot of people. I'll explain that a little bit later. Wi-Fi 5, 8 gigabytes of internal storage, 1 USB port, and that is a USB micro. So no, they did not switch it to USB-C. It seems like they just took the shell of their 4K model and just inserted Vega directly in it. Vega OS 1, very interesting. 4K at 60 FPS, no Dolby Vision, HDR10, HDR10+. Your typical video codecs, and then just a few other specs. It's going to have the regular remote and stuff like that. So really not a whole lot of difference here. Now, what we want to look at is some of our other devices and see how it stacks up. Starting things off with the lower tier device, and that's the Firestick HD. I call it the Firestick Lite. It's technically the Firestick HD. Now, just for some comparison, the Vega version is only going to be $50 more expensive than the Firestick HD. So it's one of the cheaper devices that Amazon is offering. It also runs a MediaTek chip, 4-core, 1.7 gigahertz. Again, we don't know the CPU or the GPU score yet until we get our hands on it, but we can see some of the main specs here. Both have 1 gigabyte of RAM because this is the cheaper regular Firestick model. Same Wi-Fi, same internal storage, same USB. The major difference here, really the major difference here, is it's running Vega and it has 4K instead of 1080p with the regular Firestick. Otherwise, most of the rest is fairly the same. Now you're going to see here app support. The reason why it says limited for Vega is because developers are still going to have to create new apps, new web-based apps for Vega. So all we're going to see at launch, I'm assuming, is like the major streaming apps and maybe like a few other things Amazon puts on there to try to make it seem full. But I don't think we're going to see a lot. And yes, no app sideloading on Vega. So realistically, the Vega Firestick is probably most closely resembled in the Firestick HD in terms of specs, because when we turn that off and we look at the Firestick 4K, which is their second, I guess, third best device technically, we can look at where we see some of the major differences now. The Select is going to be $10 cheaper for a 4K device, which is interesting. They both have MediaTek chips, of course. And remember, this one came out 2 years before, right? So it's 2 years old now. 4-core, 1.7 gigahertz. Again, we don't know the CPU or GPU score yet. Of course, there's more RAM with the 4K. The 4K also has Wi-Fi 6, so they did actually downgrade to Wi-Fi 5. You have the same internal storage. It's going to be using pretty much the same shell as the 4K model. And then, of course, the operating system. In terms of video, this is where you get a difference here, where the 4K model, the regular one, actually comes with Dolby Vision. So they removed that. And that makes this device cheaper to sell as well, because Dolby Vision is something you have to license. So each device that has Dolby Vision with it costs a little bit more for them. So that's why they're able to charge $10 cheaper for this. Standard upscaling, everything else is very similar. Obviously, you're missing Dolby Atmos as well. I thought this one had Dolby Atmos, but I guess it's just the pass-through. Interesting. Bluetooth 5.2, Bluetooth 5.1, 5.0 there, and everything else is very similar. So the 4K model for $10 more definitely gives you more bang for your buck in terms of video quality capabilities. And then, of course, it's more powerful, seemingly. We'll talk about that in a second. But what we want to see is comparing this to the top device, the top dog, the Firestick TV Max. This is their best model. And it runs $20 more. So it's 50% more expensive. It runs a MediaTek chip, which I believe is the same as the 4K one. No, it's not actually. Okay, I lied. It has a newer MediaTek. The CPU speed is 0.3 gigahertz higher at 2.0 instead of 1.7. Of course, the CPU and GPU scores are known to be pretty good. In terms of RAM, you get 1 gigabyte more of RAM. You also have Wi-Fi 6E with this one instead of just 6, so there is a difference there if you don't know. You have 8 gigabytes more of storage. USB, you have the same micro port like usual. In terms of external storage, you can use a USB OTG cable if you need to. And then, of course, this is running Fire OS 8, and this is running Vega. And then you'll see the same stats in terms of Dolby Audio and Dolby Vision. So you are getting more video capabilities here with that equipped Dolby Vision. Everything else is going to be very similar, with the main points that we have to realize here: a slightly higher CPU score, Wi-Fi 6E, more storage, more RAM. So from everything we can tell, every other device besides the HD has higher specs. It's going to cost them more to make. And Vega version is only $10 cheaper. Now, I really wish they would have tried to include Dolby Vision in there. I think that's a bit of a miss. But they wanted to make this device as cheap as possible so they could sell as many as possible at launch and see if people really like it. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. Whether people like it or not, they could say they hate Vega. They are going with this. I guarantee you there will be a Vega 2, Vega 3, Vega 4. They have already invested in the ecosystem, and I believe this is going to lead to eventually the regular Fire TV models being completely gone. It's what makes the most sense to me. They've already invested so much into this ecosystem. And one comment I get a lot from you guys is, oh, let's boycott Amazon. Nobody's going to buy this. But the reality is, not everybody watches my channel. And there are millions and millions of people out there that are just going to be on Amazon's page and be like, the Fire Stick Select, okay. And they're going to purchase it. Ooh, new Vega OS, faster, more reliable. Because although it has less RAM, this is a very lightweight system that is not going to require a ton of power, a lot like Roku's ecosystem. And that's where one of the major differences comes in here. Now, I hope you guys enjoyed this little breakdown so you can make a more educated buying decision if you decide to purchase one of these. And if you want to support the channel, if you don't know, YouTube is paying creators like me a lot less. So it's a little bit harder to survive right now, but that's okay. But if you do want to support me, there's literally like one thing you can do, and it's so simple. One of my biggest partners is IPVanish right here in this link. And they have one of the best deals on a cheap, affordable VPN. And I also get a kickback from them since they are a big sponsor of mine. It's only $2 a month. You save 83% off. And with all their plans, you now get 3 gigabytes of eSIM data that you can use with your phone. So very useful as well. They also have a 30-day money-back guarantee, so if you want to cancel at any point, you can get all of your money back. And of course, I appreciate any time you guys decide to purchase from the link down below. It's honestly a huge help. You guys have no idea. But if you can't afford it, that's perfectly okay. And even just subscribing and watching the videos means the most to me. So thank you guys so much. Like always, subscribe down below. I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.